What is going on, guys? This is just a quick video on a comparison between which is better, a 1 bar Bow Gank build or a 2 bar Bow Gank build. So one would be with the Oaken Soul Ring, obviously the 1 bar, and one being without the Oaken Soul Ring and a monster set instead, which would normally be Balorg. So I'm just going to say the pros and cons. So the first one we're going to talk about is the 1 bar. So the 1 bar setup is nice, obviously, because you get the mythic ring and you get a lot of buffs. And the reason I like the 1 bar is that it's just an easier of use. Like, it's much simpler to run. So obviously you have to have the shadow cloak on the front bar, so you can't slot like a damage or an extra fighters guild skill. So you are limited to the 1 bar, so there's less choice. But obviously you've got a heal and you've got your shadow cloak, and it is less buttons to press. So it's literally shadow cloak, snipe, light attack, impale. So the setup can be a lot simpler. So, and obviously you're getting a lot of buffs. The stamina recovery is better because you're getting all the passives, which is, I think is still pretty good. Even though it was nerfed to Oaken Soul, it's still very good. And then obviously if we look at the 2 bar, I mean, what are the benefits of taking off the Oaken Soul ring? So if I take it off, then obviously I need to apply another piece of the set I'm missing and run, but I do get to run a monster set. So you're losing the mythic bonuses, but I'm gaining the use of a monster set, which is Balorg. So obviously with Balorg is the ideal set for ganking. So just build up your ultimate. The more you build the ultimate up, the more damage it's going to do. So, but obviously the drawback is that you need to keep pre-buffing on the back bar. So you'd normally, on this setup I'd be doing Race Against Time for the minor force, and obviously Rally or Forward Momentum for the major brutality buff. And then on the front bar, again, I'm losing one of the things. I would have to put Camouflaged Hunter to get the major savagery and prophecy. So that's what you have to do. So in place of, because Oaken Soul would provide the minor force from this, it provides the major savagery and prophecy from this, and obviously the major brutality and sorcery from this. So that is basically what you're doing. You're replacing the Oaken Soul ring with skills. So, but which one is better, in my opinion, as I've played obviously both quite extensively, and I would say my overall opinion is that the Oaken Soul ring is more playable long term, as I prefer it, as it's just easier to use. Obviously, let me just sort this out quickly. I prefer the Oaken Soul ring 1 bar build compared to the 2 bar setup, and I'll tell you why. So the 1 bar setup is, like I said, you get all the buffs, so you don't have to keep buffing on the back bar. So you're pressing less buttons, it's simpler, it's easier, and I still think with all the extra buffs you do get, because obviously, yes, you can get the, like I said, them buffs from them skills, but you also do get additional things like the minor heroism, the mending, and other things, the recoveries, you're getting the resolves. I mean, you can obviously slot the skills to try and get recover some of this. Minor courage is quite hard to get hold of, so it's quite nice. But I prefer the 1 bar build to the 2 bar build because of the constant back. You've got to keep swapping back to the back bar just to buff up, and obviously you've got a small window on the shadow cloak before you've got to go to the front bar and then do your attacks. I find it a bit more draining because obviously with this particular gank build the recoveries are not particularly high, so if you've got to keep pressing quite a few buttons, it does drain the bars a lot quicker, and I find I can pull off more ganks consecutively with the 1 bar. With the 2 bar, I find that the resources do drain a bit quicker and you sort of have to hold back a little bit. And obviously with the 2 bar, if you want the Balog, you know, the 2 bar, the pros of the 2 bar is that I think it does do more damage than the 1 bar, but at the cost of you having to build up the ultimate, and you can't pull off as many kills. It's less kills but more damage, so it is really preference. But I prefer slightly less damage with the Oaken Soul and probably more kills, and it's easier to use. But if you want more damage and you want to really put down some tankier targets, then obviously Balog, because you're going to get the extra penetration, but you've got to build it up at the cost of being a bit more patient. So Oaken Soul is, you've got to have less patience, and obviously it's less button mashing, less button pressing, it's simpler and easier to use. If you're more of an advanced player, you can move to the 2 bar, but like I said, obviously it's more button pressing and I find it a bit more tedious, and you feel like you're having to keep waiting for the ultimate all the time, which is a bit more frustrating. So overall I would say the 1 bar wins, but the 2 bar, if you've got the patience, does do more damage. So let me know what you think, guys, in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.